What's going on, folks? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. Ace will be along in a little bit, but as you know, tonight got a lot of fun stuff going on for tonight's show and everything. We're gonna be talking about Art Briles and why really he should never have even been a coach in the whole thing and whatnot with Grambling. Um, as well too, gonna be definitely talking about the Saints like whole cap space situation and everything with Ace and everything as soon as he gets here, if he ever gets here. Also gonna be talking about these international games and stuff that have been now laid out and stuff, and questioning too, how does this play, like what's going on overseas right now? How does that play a role in what's to come with these like international games and everything, and what effect will that have? Also, too, going to talk about this new car that's making a debut in NASCAR this week. NASCAR again, definitely keeping us on our toes with what's going on and stuff. So this weekend and everything, Las Vegas International Speedway, the Pennzoil 400 is pretty interesting this week. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Definitely am. So hopefully at some point Ace will show up and we'll definitely get this thing rolling and stuff. But it's going to be an exciting show tonight. I'm excited. We're going to try to work on getting some more guests back on here and stuff here soon. It's just, with finals coming up and everything and midterms and stuff, second midterms actually, and everything, it's pretty hectic and stuff, but it's all good. So y'all don't go anywhere. The intro's next. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share this thing, everything, the whole nine. It's going to be a fun show tonight. Don't go anywhere. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JPeeps.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
So with that being said, and look who's just now joining us. Look at him.
I had to leave the birthday boy like for a moment there. I had to let him introduce himself. I left the birthday boy all alone.
He left me all by myself.
I lost track of time. I had some work I was doing for school, and the crappy teachers typed up the instructions so bad you spend half the time looking, you lose track of time. Yes, let's whatever. Let's get the show on the road.
It's all good. I'm actually let you start off real quick by talking about
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to JPeeps. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. So first, I guess we could start off with, and I'm gonna let you take this for a little bit. Is the art? Actually, no, not Art Briles, because I want to say something about that.
I was gonna say I think you should do the Art Briles first. I mean, you were very you had a strong start off to the show. I think it was 2 weeks ago when they first announced the news that they were gonna hire him. So I'll let you start with Art Briles. But what do you want me to start with?
I was gonna say I'm gonna let you start with this FAMU taking down Grambling in 6 straight baseball games thing real quick, because I'm gonna step away for a quick second. I'll be right back.
Okay, sure, I can do that.
Go right ahead.
All right. So FAMU has been Grambling 6 straight times. JPeeps just said that. And you better enjoy, because that's the only baseball you're going to get for probably about the next year or so, because we all know what's going on with Major League Baseball. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with them. I know FAMU's been rocking through the SWAC in almost every sport category, it feels like, since they've joined up this last academic year. So it's good to see that, because, I mean, they're pissing off all the other teams that have been there. So it's always fun to see them getting other people mad. But I mean, they are currently, I think, playing UF. If I'm checking Twitter right now, so I'm checking that. I think they're playing UF, if I'm not mistaken. If it would load, but yeah, all right, yeah. So right now it is 3-0 UF over FAMU with 2 outs right now. So I'll keep an eye on that. I don't have access to the pop-up score thing. Well, that's JPeeps kind of thing. So I'm gonna ramble for that, but. Grambling's been kind of crappy right now in every sport department. It feels like JPeeps is going to talk about the Art Brow's whole fiasco. It feels like they could have had they had a guy who was available to get hired earlier this year, and they chose Hugh Jackman or Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson. Holy crap!
I was going to say Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah, I was going to say, although that
yeah, I
would
had a
be
brain
cool.
fart there.
But wait, where are we at?
I was just in there pissing off everybody since they've been there. So I'm not surprised what they're doing to Grambling and baseball.
Hey, look, 6 straight. I actually posted the picture of FAMU rock bottoming Grambling over the weekend. It's pretty cool. But the other thing too that I wanted to hit on was the whole Art Briles thing. And actually, before I do that, I want to show this little fun fact. Just so people know.
That's what I'm saying. They've been. It feels like FAMU has been killing every single team in the SWAC since they've joined the SWAC last year.
Basically.
I mean, look at volleyball. Volleyball was killing it last year. I think they won, right?
I think so.
Volleyball killed it. Basketball had a crazy win streak this year. We all know what FAMU football did. We covered it. So, I mean, I'm like, it's like they're just running the show of the SWAC and they're getting everybody mad, and I'm just here for it. That's what I got to say for that.
Wholeheartedly, they are, and I'm enjoying every single second of it because this is all for people that are not from Florida having to watch this and stuff because I don't know why they didn't educate themselves before this all happened because we kind of knew this was going to happen, but it's all good. But yeah, so to this question that's been asked at the bottom of the screen, the Grambling have even entertained Art Briles to begin with. First of all, no, you should not have. That was a very dumb move. And now, lo and behold, guess who was right?
You?
Ace, you would believe who? No, I was going to say us. I was going to because we a team.
Well, I'm key. The penalty talk was right, but I was going to give you the credit because I know you had your whole thing. That's why I'm giving it to you.
Jeez, it is so funny how things come full circle, isn't it?
You don't say. He's never getting a job again. He shouldn't get a job again.
Exactly. And for those of you that are talking about, you know what he did, he paid his dues, he did all this, he did all that. You're about as dumb as the people that hired him. People trying to say he deserves a second chance. Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? You're really gonna let one of the worst human beings in college sports that has zero respect for women go in there and go lead Eddie Robinson's program? That is the most buffoonish thing I've ever heard. I'm not even trying to get
you could say some more powerful things, but we will probably get demonetized, so we're not doing that.
Yeah, oh no, we really
I'm sure somebody else has said more colorful things about that whole thing because he shouldn't have never got that job.
I'll tell you right now, if we were sitting in a bar right now having this conversation, this would not be PG. I can tell you that right now. Their delusion will never. This Art Briles, I don't even think deserves to coach Little League football. I really genuinely believe that he does not deserve to coach like 5th and 6th graders.
A parent shouldn't even be entertain the idea of having their kid being coached by him. It feels like.
Of course not. Why would you? But according to some, it's okay. He's paid his dues. So just because he's paid his dues, he's just this amazing person now. All of a sudden.
Well, I mean, those are probably the same people that those kind of messed up. So we're not getting into that.
No. Say it.
Well, no, I'm not getting into politics. I'm just saying those are probably the same type of people who are saying that kind of stuff. Or they were in Washington, D.C. January 6th. That's what I'm just saying. Those are probably the same people. Or the same people that, that was a thing earlier today I saw, and they had a whole thing with like two different sides. So like,
You already stepped in it. You good. You already stepped in it. You good.
yeah.
You good.
Yeah, we're good. Let's move on to a different topic. Let's talk about the NASCAR FAMU thing, man. I want to talk about that. That thing looked cool.
I'm liking
that car
that
that they posted, that thing looked lit.
Greg Biffle this Sunday. Look, I love me some Bubba Wallace, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Greg Biffle with that car. I'm hoping that car can do some damage. I know he finished 32nd in his last race, but which is close to the back end at 43. But I'm hoping that this weekend that car can work its way up to the front. I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of Bubba Wallace. I feel like Bubba Wallace has a chance to win this weekend in Las Vegas. But I would love to see Greg Biffle do some damage in that FAMU 44 car. I really would. That would be really nice to see. But it is a huge stepping stone. Honestly, some people have said, when he is done racing for the season, and if he does not plan to break that car back out or that design back out, donate the hood to the athletics department and have them put the hood up.
That thing would be hanged up in like I feel like that would be hanged up either in like the weight room or or just like the gym itself,
Oh yeah, yeah. Honestly, or I mean, really auction it off to a restaurant in Tallahassee. Whoever can, or no, let me be specific. Auction it off to a mom and pop's restaurant in Tallahassee, and whoever has the highest bid gets the hood. That's my say.
And all proceeds go to charity.
All proceeds go back to the university.
Or that too, yeah.
Yeah, that would be fair in my opinion. But I mean, look, I'm excited for this, man. I haven't watched NASCAR since Jeff Gordon got out, but I'm gonna definitely be watching it this
Me neither.
I have a reason now. Well, not only because of Bubba, but because of Greg Biffle. And Greg Biffle's been racing, honestly, since Jeff Gordon and all those guys were around. I know it's crazy to believe.
I got my hair before we started, so I've just been fidgeting with it the entire time.
You are always messing with that stuff. Dude, you got the little Jimmy Neutron thing going on tonight.
Yeah, I'll just go straight up. Here we go. I'll just go full spikes.
I need you to go like got a blast. Let me stop. All
right. What we got next? We talked about our NASCAR. We did our spring football practice starting I think this week, right? Or next week?
Yeah, it started this week actually, and then also the renovations and stuff happened inside of Bragg.
Yeah, the stadium.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, that stadium needed renovations really bad. But as far as this question goes, I say put seats in because end zone seats are something that should have been added a long time ago. Quite honestly, end zone seats.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, and I think this is the benefit of, and I mean, like I said, you may not like them, but I know you've been to Bucs games before. You've been to an NFL game before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's so much that I see, and I know there's a difference in college and pro football, but there's such a difference with what the Bucs do and what FAMU does. If you send some FAMU folk to a Bucs game or just NFL environments, there's so much that FAMU could do that those NFL environments do as far as fan satisfaction and stuff. And I know they have rules and stuff.
Budget and all that.
Yeah. But dude, oh my gosh, if FAMU did half the stuff for fan satisfaction as far as concessions goes to, please people and everything, they'd make a killing. Because I mean, dude, the Bucs have so many ideas of what they do for people. If FAMU did that, they could make a killing. They really could.
I mean, Raymond James it got a complete rehaul from the days of when I went to the USF game to even after the national championship game when they had the major renovations. It's like two different stadiums. It feels like
it is.
So you got to put that into retrospect too. So maybe with all these renovations going up in Tallahassee, maybe
It could happen. It could honestly happen if it's done right. And I mean, I think FAMU has the AD to do it. I never change the background for this HBCU segment. I never do.
I didn't even. I forgot. Yeah, you keep forgetting. I told you last time.
I know.
We'll just move on to the next one.
It's all good. But yeah, we into the NFL
So
now.
we're doing the free agency doing this week, or we're gonna do it next week? When do you want to do
Next-
that? Free
next
agency
week.
preview. Okay, so we're doing it next week.
But I'm gonna let you talk to me about this cap space situation with the Saints.
I mean, the cap is like the Saints. The reason why they're always so high is because they have it scheduled like that. Like they purposely did that, so they can just because they have the owner who's not afraid to cut the checks. That's what's wrong with most of these teams. Like they don't have that issue. But see, the Saints aren't like the Packers or the Giants where they're cutting players to get under the cap. Is they have it set so the contracts are designed where it has the option you could just put it all into a bonus and that player just gets it all up front for that year. So the cap space for Michael Thomas, instead of 18 million, his cap hit is 1 million. And it just takes that number straight down. They're gonna end up with almost 25 million in cap space just without cutting a single player. So now 25 over the cap. They're having 25 under the cap. And then if they cut Bradley Roby, that's another 10 million they're gonna add on to that. But then you also got to remember they have to sign Bradley. They're gonna have to re-sign Marcus Williams. Teron Armstead's probably gonna walk because they can't afford him. That one there's that's what the issue is with what they're doing. They lost Trey Hendrickson last year because they had to pick between him or Marcus Williams, and they franchise tagged Marcus Williams and they let Trey Hendrickson hit free agency. But this year they're gonna probably re-sign Williams, and they're gonna let Armstead walk. So if you get what I'm trying to say, there's some losses you have to take, but it's all designed.
I can understand that. It's the same thing with the Bucks. I think the Bucks, it was kind of a blessing.
They're doing it too now.
Yeah, because you got to think about the blessing and the curse that was Ali Marpet retiring. That freed up, I think 20 million in cap space. And then I think there's a cap hit with Brady retiring that's going to have a significant impact as well.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Brady. I have an issue with what's going on in Tampa right now.
But did you hear about what Arian said, though?
Yes. I heard what Arian said, but that's what I have the issue with.
What's the issue here?
My issue is he took the second year extra to help the Bucks with their cap space situation for last season. He didn't have to do them any favors. He could have left it at whatever his crazy cap hit was, but he took the second year, split it up so he could lower his cap hit. But now Arians wants to hold him ransom if he wants to come out of retirement for 5 first-round picks, he said.
But can you blame him for doing that?
I mean, I don't blame him for trying to be I do blame him for trying to be a jerk about it. If Brady did him a favor and now saying if he ever wanted to come back, he's stuck.
Because think about it. If Drew all of a sudden decided he wanted to come back, would you give Drew Brees the flexibility?
Well, what do you mean?
If this situation were going on,
if Drew wanted to come out of retirement and go somewhere else,
yes. Would you not want 5 first-round picks for Drew Brees?
I wouldn't say 5. That's just absurd.
But you would want a significant
But it was still
amount.
1 pick. Yeah, I would want picks, but not 5.
Okay. Well, yeah, give or take, there is a difference between Drew Brees and Brady, given the rings and stuff and the legacy. But I mean, you would want something significant out of it.
Well, I mean, actually, for Brees, I wouldn't want much. But if it's Sean Payton, yeah, I want my picks.
Exactly. And you got to think about the same thing, too, with the Herschel Walker situation when Dallas started their dynasty. Jerry Jones was able to get a plethora of picks out of Minnesota for that. And hence, 3 Super Bowls happened. But the wells dried up since because he hadn't been able to make a blockbuster thing happen.
But who's going to give you 5 first-round picks? San Francisco doesn't even have 5. They gave up 3 just for Trey Lance.
That's a good question.
So where they're going to get 5 to do it? San Francisco is the only team I can see him going to.
I think
that's his home.
Someone is gullible enough to. Well, I don't see it happening anymore, but I feel like someone would be gullible enough to go out there and do that. I'm not sure who. Maybe a flat earther would probably go out there and do that. But this next one.
What else?
This one. This is the question I'm thinking about right here.
I don't know. Bruh, I really don't know. I mean, we probably won't even be if you're gonna ask that question, then you have to consider the fact that we probably wouldn't be here in like a day. I'm saying, like, if you're gonna be if they won't go international, what's going on in Ukraine, then that's like the same thing as saying you're probably not gonna be here tomorrow if some idiot decides to go turn a key and push a red button.
Oh Lord, you got a point, but I agree. I mean,
I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I mean, my thing is this: I would say definitely, given what's going on, you got to hold off on it. Part of it is biased because I really want to see Cincinnati and the Bucks play in Tampa this year. Because that's
I want to see Cincinnati and New Orleans in the Dome. Y'all can go to Germany and have that game. If they're saying it's going to be Cincinnati and New Orleans in London, and like half the people I follow on Twitter about to go and like get themselves suspended with the amount of stuff they'd say if they put the Jamar Chase Joe Burrow return and they put it in London instead of New Orleans.
Oh, I mean,
like people would be mad if that happened.
Terrible. It's going to happen. It's already going to happen.
Or am I?
I've talked to some Cincinnati fans that have inside scoops, and they've already said it. The 2 international games that the Bengals will be in this year consist of a game where they have to travel over to London to play the Saints, and they got to travel over to Germany to play the Bucks. It's happening.
That's so stupid, though.
And I know, and you're doing a team. You're doing.
That's not fair to the fans.
It's not fair to the fans, and it's also very dirty of you to do that to a team that just made a Super Bowl appearance. Because usually the Super Bowl teams, the teams that play in the Super Bowl, they get special treatment. But I guess it's because it's the Bengals. See, if that were the Steelers, that wouldn't happen. If that were the Patriots, that wouldn't happen.
Chiefs ain't going overseas.
Exactly. If that were the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, that wouldn't happen. But because it's Cincinnati, and I feel like they don't want to see the establishment of the NFL does not want to see Cincinnati back in another Super Bowl. I think that's why this has happened. But all in all, I personally do feel like, if the situation over there in Europe, it escalates even more, you're going to have to bring these games back to the mainland.
Yeah. I can see it happening if they start, like their bombing campaigns or whatever. But Germany's a good ways inland, and I don't know if they've re-upped themselves since 1940s when they were idiots, but I assume Germany's got boosted back up.
See, I look at it like this. Would you have gone over there? Well, actually, no, they did. Never mind. Let me not ask that. They already did.
Don't even go there. Let's just move on. You about to step and say something really stupid. Let's move on.
I was going to say something I was going to question it, but I answered my own question in my mind. Good job. Because Sean McVay said he's going to come back and try to run it back.
You worded this one. I think they're having contract talks, and I think they're going to like pay him an absurd amount. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they plan to. I mean, really, I don't mind paying him an absurd amount. I don't know where they're getting the money for it. I assume because the Gurley and Goff contracts are off the books, they have the money to do it.
Look, you got to, and then you got to think about too. If you're really trying to run it back and bring back everyone to do this, they're in a worse money situation than the Bucks were when the Bucks won their Super Bowl. They, on the other hand, if they really want to do this, they need to bring back Odell, who wants to be in Los Angeles, but I don't feel like he's going to
not play next year.
Exactly. And then you got to think about too Von
We're
Miller,
like
who's
back to the playoffs.
yeah. And look, Von Miller's considering. Some people want to see Von Miller go back to Denver, and then that's a lot of money being eaten up right there between two people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
And you
I
saw,
don't
yeah. I don't know if Cam Akers is the guy or he just was rusty, but he was not looking good in the playoffs.
because I blame it on not
You also
getting a
have to
lot of
fix the left tackle. You also have to fix left tackle because Whitworth is definitely gone. He's not coming back. So they have a glaring hole on your blind side for Matthew Stafford.
I'm giving Cam Akers the benefit of the doubt and giving him a pass because I know he basically did not play a single down in the regular season. So
Also, he beat the inhumane possibilities of coming back from an Achilles tear in 5 months.
exactly. So I mean there's that to consider. And also too, I don't know if you saw it, Chris Lammon's he turned himself in as
Oh yeah, I
well.
saw that's a Chiefs guy. I don't even that whole situation, man. That thing is so I don't know weird if you want to say. I mean, I already know Kamara's getting suspended for 6 games, so I'm not worried too much about that.
Mhm.
But whatever, that's that. As long as he doesn't get criminal charges, which I doubt he will. I mean, people get in fights all the time.
We're gonna
Like,
see. We
yeah,
gonna see.
it's hard to get jail time off of assault. It feels like, but then again, it's also a black person, so the court
I was gonna
system's
say
kind of
never. I was
screwed
gonna
up.
say I've seen crazier happen before with the justice system in this country.
Yeah, so I'm
But
saying. So I'm like, I had to second guess myself there. But I
yeah,
mean, I can see why he turned himself in is better than trying to go on the run and then your career is done with.
oh, of
So I
course,
mean,
of
yeah.
course.
So just turn yourself in and see if that helps. Get some leniency. I guess that whole thing is just it was unavoidable. You know what I mean? Avoidable. It was avoidable and didn't need to happen. So that's just stupidity right there.
My thing, see, look, there's certain things I always say to myself: if I were in that situation, how would I have handled it? I would not even if I'm an NFL player, I'm not going out in Las Vegas. It's too much temptation around you.
And they want to move an NBA team to Las Vegas. That's my whole issue. Like, why?
Don't do it.
I don't know what's the draw of Las Vegas beside the money.
I will
They will
say,
get the money. But it's just like everything else for the players just doesn't make sense.
well,
Hockey
see,
is different. Hockey players carry themselves completely different than things. They don't even do much outside of stuff.
I'll say, have you ever been to Las Vegas before?
No.
Go, because I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go, and then you'll see why they want to put a lot of sports teams in Las Vegas.
No, I can see. I know why they want to put the sports teams in Las Vegas. It's just you have to think the players. I don't know if they're mature enough to keep themselves out of trouble. Like, look at the Raiders. How many issues they had this year alone? I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights are just an anomaly. It feels like because you barely hear crap out of the NHL.
That's
Some
true.
players they just focus on their work because there's so many international players. They don't even care. It feels like they just try to get their paycheck and they go home.
Of course. But with that,
Which is what NFL players need to worry about. Focus on your bag for your family and all that, and don't worry about none of the outside crazies.
That's what I would be worried about.
Look at Jameis. Jameis got himself wifed up. He's been good.
Exactly. Of course, I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. Get wifed up, and then you just make your life a lot easier. But that's going to take
temptations go away. Let's move on
to college sports. So I don't know if you saw that crazy stat or if you watched any of those games. 6 of the top 10 teams all lost.
You said it before. I wanted to interrupt you. The last time we talked about college basketball in depth was like I want to say it was like one of the episodes right after the national championship, or like right before the national championship. We talked about college basketball on the last give, and that almost exact same thing happened where like 5 of the top 7 teams lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it screwed everything up, and I'm like, oh boy, we did it again.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm telling you, March is here. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I think March 17th. I want to say.
Yeah, March
or
17th.
16th. Oh yeah, March 17th.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere around there. But
Yes, the Wednesday or the Thursday or something like that.
yeah, who's your most dangerous
I
team going
don't
into?
know.
Someone said Alabama.
Mm,
Because
they won't go to no.
someone
They'll
said
make
Alabama
it probably.
comparisons to 2014 UConn.
That Alabama team started off hot and went ice cold.
Yes,
Like they went ice cold. They fell out of the top 25 and everything
that's true too. And
for a while, and then they got back in. So maybe they get hot for the SEC tournament, and
mhm.
if they do that, then I can see them making a run. But other than that, I seriously doubt it, man.
Honestly, that Alabama team, they're 3-6 on the road. They're 13-2 at home.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
I want to
look,
see. I think this year. I mean, the last couple of years, it's been either a 1 or a 2 that I've been seeing win it all. And I feel this year it's not going to be that way. I feel 1 or 2 is going to get. I guaranteed 1-1 is going to get knocked out in the round of 64.
oh yeah, of course. It's guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed to happen now. I mean, look, one of these HBCUs might end up knocking off one of those teams. I hope so.
What was that one from Texas? Texas Southern, right?
Yeah, that's a
I won't be
dangerous.
surprised if I see them upset. I honestly think Texas Southern, but
When you talk about college hoops, the ones you have to keep an eye on, definitely Texas Southern, Norfolk State, North Carolina Central. I'm trying to remember if there's anybody else from the SWAC, but those are definitely 3 schools that I'm sure that I do know for a fact you have to
Texas
keep an eye
Southern
on.
is second in the SWAC, right? In the Southwest Atlantic. Yeah, that's SWAC. Yeah, they've been going crazy.
Who has?
Let me see how many games they've lost. So where the season started. So they lost to Oregon, St. Mary's, Washington, BYU, NC State. So they started off rough, and then they got hot. Like when I say hot, they got like fire hot, and they won almost like 7 out of the next 10.
Right.
And
I was gonna say,
I mean,
look now
like,
up there too. Alcorn's up there too in the SWAC right now. Top 4 teams.
Alcorn is the one. Alcorn beat them by 3.
Yeah. So you have to look at this. Alcorn, Texas Southern, and FAMU are all
Alcorn
the
has
top.
a losing record though. Alcorn is 13-15. Texas Southern is 14-12.
Yeah, see, this is anybody's race right now. This is anybody's race. If anything, I would really be afraid of if I'm a team in the round of 32 right now, or in the round of 64 right now. I am terrified of Norfolk State.
Oh yeah, I think Norfolk State upsetted somebody like one in the last 3 years. I think they upsetted somebody big.
Yeah, I mean, and look, they're walking right now. They're walking tall with a 20-6 record. I think they're going to win the MEAC. I don't see anybody else really coming close. So, could be scary times. Could be. And plus, I mean, and then you got to think about it too. I think, honestly, having played in the MEAC, I think that kind of prepared FAMU for what was to come in the SWAC. I think honestly, the MEAC is a tougher attention to detail basketball conference than the SWAC.
Let's see who they say is the top contenders for the championship. I have to think would load.
They're gonna
We know it's
say
gonna be those the blue blood schools or whatever they're called. You know what I'm talking about?
it's always gonna be Duke, Kansas, Purdue,
Kansas, Baylor.
Oh yeah, of course. That doesn't surprise me.
It's gonna be those usual guys, but I feel someone's gonna make a Loyola type run when they just sneak into the Elite Eight, Final Four.
Of course,
I don't think
always
Gonzaga's win.
Every
I
year, there's
don't
one team that they're just like, oh my gosh, where did they come from?
Yep.
Every year. And that was
I can tell you who I think is not going to win it. I don't think Gonzaga's going to win it. I don't think Kentucky's going to win it.
look. I learned
I
that
think Auburn might win it or Kansas. I like Auburn or Kansas. I don't think Duke's winning it. No offense to Banchero and all that boys.
I learned specifically last year, do not put my faith in Gonzaga ever again for anything.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Jalen Suggs. I know you're on the Magic and you're doing good, but I don't trust Gonzaga in the playoffs.
I mean, honestly,
sorry, I know you went crazy against UCLA, but I mean, yeah, nah.
Yeah, no, I don't trust them, dude. But I am a believer in Auburn or Kansas. I really am. I think I put my faith in Kansas one time for Kansas to actually go win the whole thing, and they got knocked out in the Elite Eight. Auburn, I would like to see what Auburn can do. I really would.
Right.
But, the other thing too, though, is DJ Uyunglele has been gaining high praise from Davos Sweeney as far as spring ball is concerned recently. Now, mind you, he has no Tony Elliott. He has no Brent Venables. He has no.
Maybe he just needed a change, man. Who knows? He needed a little spark.
Do you really buy it? Do you really buy the hype?
I mean, the spring, I don't buy anything, but I'm saying, who knows? Maybe Clemson kind of got stale. I don't know. On offense,
Clemson got stale, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe if they can get some, like new ideas coming in there, Uiagalelei gets a different voice in his head. I kind of say, who knows?
I think
I don't know what spring, man. Everything in spring is kind of fake.
Honestly, I will say spring does kind of give you like a precursor of what can be. Because I will say, I'm gonna go back to 2013, watching Florida State's spring game with Jameis Winston. Like, you kind of knew Florida State was going to be something special that year. Like, looking at Jameis throw a touchdown pass on his first play, and then like seeing how scary that defense was and stuff. Like, you kind of knew, like, all right, Florida State might be something scary. But some teams you can kind of see it. I will say, sometimes if you look at 8A with Alabama, they look like you could kind of get a good gauge of what they're going to be. So, I mean, it's certain teams, other teams, not so much, but you can sometimes tell. So, like Miami, watched their spring game last year. I knew they weren't going to be good. They were going to be a fast-paced team. I knew that because that's how they were the year before. But I didn't think that they were going to be anything to really be scared of, to be honest.
Well, they did hire our boy Charlie Strong on that coaching staff.
Hey, look, you never know. Some
at least two 20+ leads this year, or at least 10+ leads in
look,
the
he's
fourth.
got the NFL and the college experience. He's going to be all right. It's up
Miami's
to
going to blow 2 games this season coming up by at least 10 points. They're gonna be up 10, and they're gonna blow it in the fourth quarter twice.
Have you seen who they have to play this year?
No.
They have to go to College Station and play Texas A&M.
That's not happening. They're not gonna. They won't blow it in that game. They'll get run out the stadium probably.
Oh, of course. And then they also have to play. They have Florida State coming to them, so that's a.
I think that's gonna be the game of who's gonna choke it the most. Because I mean, Florida State's been choking games left and right too. They're becoming the Atlanta Falcons. So
yeah, you got a point. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna do it. But we'll say Florida State actually was very impressive this weekend with that buzzer beater shot against Virginia. I don't know if you saw that. That was incredible.
No, I did not.
Oh my gosh!
I know there was one where they hit I think it was 2 weeks ago. They hit a buzzer beater to win the game from like 3/4 court.
I was sitting there watching not Alabama. I was sitting there watching Auburn and Tennessee play, and they showed that on the highlights, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just missed that." But it was
I'm
pretty
trying to
good.
think if I saw it. Sometimes I see him and I don't even think about it, and I just move right on through.
Hey, sometimes it happens. It happens. It happens. Um,
Hmm.
but I mean, it was a heck of a finish. All of those games were heck of finishes and stuff. Auburn, I thought at some point was going to just rally and take that game away from Tennessee, but Tennessee stayed in it. And then Michigan State, they stayed in it
He's
too.
got a baller at point guard. I can't remember the exact name, but he's good.
Because they were hyping him up.
He's the biggest guy, but he's pretty good.
Even Michigan State, dude. If Michigan State gets in this tournament after what I saw them do to Purdue, I'm confident in them.
Izzo's still the coach, right?
Who?
Never mind. I don't know if he's still there.
Who? Michigan State's coach?
Yeah, is he still there? I don't remember.
Oh my goodness!
I'm drawing a blank. I think he was there, but then I heard something.
I believe he is. Are you talking about and referring to Tom Izzo?
Yeah, Izzo's still the coach. Okay, yeah, so I was right. Izzo's still the coach. He was in
Yeah.
the news last year for something. I don't know what. I don't know why I thought he left for some reason.
Yeah, I remember that too. But I do think that they'll be okay. If there's one thing about teams like that, like teams like Michigan State and Duke and UNC and Kansas, they're going to be there in the end. Honestly, those blue bloods, they're always going to be there in the end. So that's one thing you can always count. But definitely looking forward to this tournament. I'm looking forward to getting my bracket printed out and everything. I think I'm probably
Bracket's gonna get busted like that.
You know what? We're not going to talk about it.
My favorite bracket though was the year I had Murray State going all the way to the Final Four, and they got busted next week. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
You really put your.
I was a John Morant believer since he was in college. All right, give me a break.
I knew they weren't going to beat Florida State. I think it was Florida State they lost to.
Yeah, it was Florida State they lost to. I just wanted to. I was just screwing around. I had John Morant going.
Yeah, I told people all over the place. I was like, dude, they're not going to beat Florida State. He can't do it by himself against Florida State. I told people over here that thought UNC Greensboro was going to beat Florida State. I was like, and it was people from North Carolina, and I was like, no. I was like, it ain't.
It's time for you to move on.
It is, and that takes us now to hot topics. So, something interesting. I gotta salute that dude. Former heavyweight champion Vitaly I can't pronounce it. I would just say Vitaly. Yeah, and his brother Waldemir, they both decided to go back home and go join the resistance.
Vladimir, not Vladimir. They probably pronounce it Vladimir. Probably most likely.
They do pronounce it Vladimir. But I do got to give him kudos and stuff, just like Stephen A.
There was a dude. He owns the Chelsea team. The Chelsea football team. He's putting it up for sale, so he put all the money that he makes off of it goes back to helping the people in Ukraine. It's a Russian oligarch or whatever, and he's just putting all the money to the people in Ukraine for some reason. I was like, okay, little shout out there. So shout out all three of those people.
Rightfully so.
Vitaly, Vladimir, and I don't even know the other guy's name. I just remember reading it.
Yeah, and then the tennis player too that wrote on the camera. He said, "Say no to war." I believe it was, or
yeah,
it was something like that. But I mean, yeah, kudos to all these athletes and stuff using their platforms and everything, which is what needs to happen. This is something that you would have never seen, all those years ago during the Cold War and stuff. You never would have seen that.
Roman Abramovich is putting it up for sale.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I saw that on Spectrum.
Abramovich at the same time announced that he instructed the renowned team to set up a foundation to use all net proceeds from the sale of Chelsea to benefit all victims of the war in Ukraine.
Yep.
So how long ago Prune kills him? That's not my thing to say. Moving on.
Gosh, jeez. So one other thing before well, yeah, I guess I should jump into it now.
Stadium series?
This.
Oh, that one. Definitely not 2024. I don't see them getting into 2024. 2028, maybe if they get their act together.
Honestly, I will say I think it was the 1984 Olympics. The Soviet Union boycotted it because it was in Los Angeles. The Soviet
Hey,
Union.
you know Russia doesn't even have their own official team. They got banned because I think the Sochi Olympics, they got caught with a doping scandal and they got banned for like a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
years, and they've been using the IHC IHC or something. It's like a little name they have for themselves, and it's like the Russian athletes have their own little group that they like go against. They can't even use their own flag and all that. So
Yeah, I think it's like
maybe
the
they get it. I don't think they will because people already
Olympic.
banned them and all that. So
It's the Russian Olympic
I
Committee.
mean, the Olympics got a safe face after having the Olympics in Nazi Germany. So who knows? That's
Look,
not for me to say.
you want to know something cool about that Olympics?
Which one? That one that wasn't very.
The Nazi Germany Olympics. You want to know something cool about that?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I probably know what you're gonna say, but let's hear it.
Jesse Owens went out there and beat all of those Aryans.
Mm-hmm. I knew what you were gonna say, but I just like what you say. I knew it was Jesse Owens. I knew it was Jesse. I couldn't remember the last name. I was like,
and
they had a movie on that actually.
Yeah,
he had his own movie about everything.
And the funny thing, and the awesome thing about it is he did it in front of all of those Nazi officers and leaders. So that was the really cool thing about it.
Yep.
But
we're gonna
yeah.
So I mean,
honestly, definitely questioning about what's going to happen here in about 2 years in Paris. So I don't know how that's going to go down. But Los Angeles in 2028. Heck, a lot can happen between now and then. That's
6 years.
Yeah, it's still 6 years away. So we'll see what happens.
Yep,
but
as long as we don't end up like Star Trek and having World War III last like 20-something years, I think we're good.
No, it's not gonna last like 20-something years.
No, it'll probably last like a week.
Anyway,
sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but yeah, I'm trying to get some humor. All right, Stadium Series. Let's talk about it.
This is how I know you've been playing too much Call of Duty.
I don't play. I just play NHL. Actually, these days I've been killing NHL.
Wow,
that's it.
Must be nice to play video games, huh?
I think so. Hey, you gotta have something to work towards. Otherwise, you just do the work and you're like, I don't care. Gotta have something to look forward to when you finish it.
Got a point. Maybe I should take your lead, honestly.
All right. Yes, the answer is Y-E and a big fat S. It's possible.
I agree.
It's possible.
I definitely agree.
I mean, if you have ice hockey on the beach, like, bruh, just over with it. I mean, you're probably gonna have to have it in like January or February, January, like late January, early February is like the coldest in Florida. I mean, that's the time we're gonna have to plan it. But other than that, yeah, it's possible.
I would agree. I don't know about on the beach, but I would definitely say
the NHL needs to improve their marketing.
Yeah, they could definitely do it inside Raymond James. If they did it inside Hard Rock Stadium, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. I don't know if you ever been.
I don't know if you can do it in Miami. Miami's hotter than Tampa.
It is, but have you ever been to Hard Rock Stadium?
Yeah.
The features of it, it's just everything it has to offer is pretty awesome. So that's why I think that it could be successful if it is done in that setting. I think either way, if they do it in Tampa or if they do it in Miami, I think it definitely sells tickets. Because honestly, I think a lot of people are just going to want to see it just happen. It's just the thought of hockey outside,
ice hockey, and Florida.
Exactly, like that's something that you would never have thought was possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think it's doable. But that NHL Stadium Series game, that was a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty good game. I was really impressed with it. I felt like they tried to make it seem very Super Bowl-ish by having a lot of all those concerts and stuff going on and whatnot, and all these
Yeah.
different singers and stuff. But that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, they're trying too hard with that.
All right,
But
let's go into some NBA. The Magic need to play Markel more than 10 minutes. Come on, man. The boys got 11 points in 10 minutes. Play the man.
Isn't he coming back from an injury?
The dude's been out 14 months. He's been ready for like last 2 months. They've been tanking. Did you see him Monday night? That man looked like if he was in mid-season form, he'd be putting up 20 and 10 easy.
Mm-hmm.
He put up 10 and 6 in 15 minutes. And he did hit a couple mid-range. He hasn't taken he did take a 3. He missed it, but he has taken more threes attempts than Ben Simmons did in the last 2 years.
So
he's a better.
Do you think this is where the Magic rally and make a run for the playoffs?
Oh no, they're already like eliminated.
Really already?
I don't know. I think they're like really bad in the standings right now. Let's see. They are the last place. They're tied with the Detroit Pistons right now for 15 and 47. But they have won 2 games in a row. They're gonna win third tonight, and we're gonna get 50% off Papa John's tomorrow. So I have dinner for tomorrow.
Easy.
So we're getting pepperoni pizzas dinner tomorrow.
15 and 47. Yeah, it's not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. I mean, they've been looking better than the Lakers, but we won't get into that.
Hey, honestly, it's the truth.
Or
And then
thank God we don't have last year right now. Huh?
The Miami Heat are sitting clear cut at the top.
Yeah, who cares?
Hey, look, I'm telling you now, you could hate on it, but the Miami Heat, Pat Riley and them boys, they do a good job. They just keep moving on and assembling talent.
All right, I'm watching these scores right now. Someone said the point guard version of DeMar DeRozan is what Markelle Fultz is. I mean, I'm completely fine with that. That's not bad. You saw what DeMar is right now.
Also, too, with 9.7 seconds left, we got Notre Dame and Florida State. Florida State is up by 2 right now.
Texas A&M's about to bust your bubble with beating Alabama right now. They're beating them 87-71 with 29 seconds left.
Texas A&M is doing it right now?
Yeah, Alabama's going to kiss its spot in the top 25 goodbye. They are 19 and 10. Texas A&M is 18 and 11. Wow.
Oh, this game is in the tuck. Oh my goodness! See, there's some crazy fishes tonight.
See the ACC right now. Oh, Georgia Tech and Clemson are tied right now, 65 apiece, 36 seconds. Notre Dame 72-70 right now. So we shall see how that game ends. That's an ACC.
Wait.
The SEC. There's only one game going on in the SEC. Let's check the Big Ten.
Wait,
Rutgers are beating Indiana by 1 with a minute left.
Georgia Tech is good.
Pac-12 got no game.
The Pac-12.
Big 12.
Oh my gosh. What's his name? Bill Walton. Oh my goodness. He said UCLA has a chance to be the scariest team not even UCLA. I forget who it was. He said somebody that's not even.
Oh.
He said somebody that doesn't even have a decent amount of wins to even get in the tournament could be like one of the scariest teams to get in the tournament and do some damage. His like West Coast bias is unreal. I'm sorry.
Who said that and what team was it? Or you don't know?
That was Bill Walton said it, but I forget like what team he was talking about when he said it.
All right. I know we're gonna wrap this up, but I'll look it up while you do that.
Definitely. We are going to keep you guys posted on this Florida State game as well. So Notre Dame is literally driving. They got the block. Florida State got the ball back, and that is a final. Florida State
okay.
has won.
I'm
Florida
sure it was
State.
Bill Walton who said it.
I think it was Bill Walton. But yeah, Florida State has won 74-70 over Notre Dame. That was like
Well, checking the news, and he hasn't said anything about March Madness.
oh. Maybe it was a typo I saw on Twitter.
Or it might have been Bill Walton. They just didn't write a news article about it.
Oh yeah, no, it was someone just took a picture of it and posted it off the TV. That's where I saw it at.
Well, then I'll check Twitter and see what they got to say. Bill Walton.
But folks, we have reached the end of our show as he looks for that. We hope you've enjoyed. We hope you've enjoyed. If you have not already, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. Make sure oh my gosh, what else is there? Ace, what else
Like,
is there?
share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Free agency special next week Wednesday. We're gonna go into. How do you want to do that anyway? You want to go by team? That might take a while. Or we'll do. I guess we could do half the episode NFL free agency and half the episode HBCU and March Madness preview.
We could do it like that.
For the week next week. Next week's a big episode when you think about it, because we got NFL free agency starting on Monday, and you have March Madness starting. No, wait, March Madness. I think we'd have another episode before March Madness officially. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
Actually, I love how you just. Actually, as we do say goodbye, I know you were talking about Alabama and Texas A&M.
Arizona State. That is who he said it is. That was a couple of weeks ago.
Yes,
So Arizona State is 6-10 on February 24th. So I have no idea what they are right now, but yeah, that's what it was. Like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for this episode. Sorry I was late. Happy birthday, JPeeps, and we'll see you next week. Running last gives back on the 22nd.
Yes, you will. Stay happy, stay blessed. We will see you next week. And enjoy Las Vegas this weekend, the Pennzoil 400 on Fox. Good night.